Hello, here we are again for another week video training or tutorial or tips and guides and strategies to help you support your child in their learning to read, write and spell series. And research has shown that there are 6 key early literacy areas for skill development for children to become successful at their reading, writing and spelling confidently. And of course, parents and teachers, we are keen to foster and encourage that as much as we can, keeping it light and fun and a joy and play-based learning and ready for when they enter into their formal education in that way of whether it's homeschooling and they're sitting at home doing their schoolwork at a desk or on the floor or at the kitchen table, or they're entering into a classroom situation, or you're traveling and you're doing your distance education, or you live out on a cattle station somewhere. There's so many different ways, online and in person, and that children can learn. So we've been talking about over this series different ways of preparing your child to learn to read, write and spell for when they're 5 to 6 and they're entering into more formal school setting 5 days a week if you're going into school. And in Australia the prep and year 1 curriculum is 5 or 6, and then kindergarten in Queensland is 4-year-olds. So we've talked about the number one in the research is vocabulary, which I did a video in week 3 I think it was. So if you didn't see it, just pop along and have a look at that. But it's so important to talk to your child. And then last time we talked about pre-writing and writing, which is really the second point in this US reading research that I had come across, and in preparing your child to read, write and spell. And it talks about print motivation. So does your child have an awareness of, an interest in and an enjoyment in books, and picking up the junk mail, looking at signs when they go around the grocery store, and being interested in holding a pencil, holding a crayon, wanting to scribble on a piece of paper or on a chalkboard or on a whiteboard. So last week I talked about different ways that you can encourage your child who's expressing an interest in wanting to pick up a pencil or pick up a crayon, that encouraging them to scribble and encouraging them to make lines across the page. And it is so rewarding for a child when they first pick up a writing device, whatever that device or implement is, piece of chalk, a crayon, a paintbrush with water paints or something, and they make a mark on a page or they make a mark on a blackboard or a whiteboard. It's so exciting and it's so rewarding for them. And make a big deal of it, because it really is a big deal for them. And then progressing through to being able to draw straight lines, zigzag lines, curvy lines, and then, like I spoke last week, being able to draw a circle, eventually with the goal of the circle, the 2 ends joining up, and the triangle where they're straight and you've got the 3 sides joining up, which all are precursors to forming letters on a page, and being able to have that spatial awareness, which is being aware of where you are in space and the distance of things, which children progress and learn. Like a little toddler has no idea that at the top of the stairs there's a great distance, and that's why you need toddler gates, because otherwise they'll stand at the top of the stairs and they'll take a step fully expecting there to be something underneath their foot, and they'll topple down. So that depth perception and that spatial awareness is still developing in their central nervous system, in their brain, and so they're not always aware of space, young children. And that's why you need to hold their hand when you cross the road. Because I don't know how many times I've used this example with parents over the years. If you tell children so here's the line, stop at the line, and you expect stop at the line, stop at the curb, do not cross the road. And children's spatial awareness and depth perception has them like way out here. Here's the line, way out there. And you're saying, did you hear me? Did you listen? Did you follow the instructions? I asked you to stop on the line. And they may have listened, they may have been trying their best to follow your instructions, but they went way out here or to the middle of the road. And so young children are still developing that awareness of space and depth perception. And that's using your 2 eyes together to perceive and understand the environment, and to then make a judgment or a comprehension or an understanding of how to react and respond. And so jumping exercises and hopping and skipping and doing all kinds of physical activity are so important for the development of young children, as a precursor in their development for being successful at reading, writing and spelling. Because if a child doesn't know where they are in space and they can't navigate through, say, an environment, jumping over different lines, like obstacle courses are fantastic. I love them. I've done so many with children in my work and with my children at home. And I'm just videoing near a car park. You can hear people leaving, but I can't stop it, so excuse the background noise if you can hear that. So yes, obstacle courses are brilliant for being able to negotiate your body through space, going under, over, around, following lines. And if a child can't do that in a gross way, it makes it so difficult for them to pick up a pencil and be able to place a letter on a line. And the letter could go anywhere. It could go here, it could go there, it could go backwards, it could go upside down. And to that child, they are still developing that awareness of space. So it's really important to do all of the gross motor, fun, but developmental activities as well with children, and that helps their development when they're looking to read, write and spell in class or in a homeschooling situation when they're actually learning the letter formations, and reading to them and having that print awareness so they know to recognise different shapes that letters form in the community, in the grocery store, in a book, and seeing you also model what it is to write. These days we're so busy on laptops, tablets, phones, that it's great to turn all those off and actually get out a bit of paper and have your children see you do some writing or some drawing as well. So that will be a fun time, I'm sure. So until next time, hopefully you have found something appropriate in that content for your age child, and in all of these videos you can modify them to suit the needs of your household, your child, and trust you're having lots of fun in helping your child learn the skills necessary to learn to read, write and spell confidently. Thank you so much.